I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. In February, the construction of the new Gallup Park Bridge began, limiting access to areas of the park. Now the job is complete with a safer way to travel from one side of the Huron River to the other.
Today we're having the ribbon cutting for the Gallup Vehicular Bridge, which is the ceremonial opening of the bridge to all traffic. The original bridge was built in 1975, and over the use of it in the last 40 years, it deteriorated to the point where the foundation was in need of replacement. The reason that we chose to do it this year is that we had received ARPA funding from the federal government. Much like the old bridge is a single vehicle bridge. However, we have increased the size of the bridge to include more pedestrian and bike traffic lanes. Opening the bridge up today is really exciting to ensure that the community gets to use the entire Gallup Park.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. For decades, skateboarders had to fight for their right to grind, as many cities did not provide a place to focus on the craft. 2024 marked the 10-year anniversary of Ann Arbor's bodacious addition to Veterans Memorial Park that left the skate community soaring.
We're out here in Veterans Memorial Park celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Ann Arbor Skatepark.
I have a history with Ann Arbor since the early 90s, and it's a super fun park. It's well built, it's fun to skate.
One thing about the skate park is that it's one of the largest around at 30,000 square feet. Another aspect of the skate park that makes it popular is that it has beginner, intermediate, and advanced areas. We have bowls, we have a street plaza sort of area.
We're doing skate jams and we're getting the word out to people basically like about the park, about foundations, and about different clubs and organizations.
Peace Neighborhood Center is a place where kids can come and get tutoring and after-school programs and all kinds of programs for kids, and the Friends of the Ann Arbor Skatepark has partnered with them to be able to have those kids come in a more formal way to the skate park, get used to being at the skate park and learn to skate.
We're just representing women and basically people who are underrepresented for a long time. We're not gonna let the culture of skateboarding or what it once was isolate it to one specific demographic. So it's just basically like pushing through those barriers, just like any part of skateboarding is. You're pushing through those barriers and you're like, we do have a space here.
You'll see a lot of the older skaters out here really bringing the younger skaters in and teaching them how to do it safely, how to do tricks even, and how to begin skating.
It leads you to friends that you'll have for the rest of your life. It leads you to other friends from other cities, other parts of the planet. It's just so much camaraderie in skateboarding.
Happy anniversary to the Ann Arbor Skatepark, 10 years, baby.
Get out and skate!
All super love to the Friends of the Ann Arbor Skatepark. Well done.
For more info or to donate to valuable programming to diversify the sport, visit a2skatepark.org. Questions are the first step to find solutions to most issues, and now the city is utilizing an AI virtual assistant to help with all municipal needs. Learn how to activate Ask Ann in this month's City Roundup.
The City of Ann Arbor has launched Ask Ann, a fully integrated and automated web chat assistant that helps people find information from the city 24/7. Ask Ann is built into a2gov.org, utilizing the technology behind large language models, or conversational artificial intelligence, which makes it easier for anyone to get quick answers to questions and find detailed information. Ask Ann understands and communicates proficiently in 71 different languages. To chat with Ask Ann, visit a2gov.org on a computer, tablet, or phone, and Ask Ann will appear on the bottom right section of your browser. Clicking the Ask Ann icon launches the chat window. Ask Ann also gives people the ability to message city staff if they can't get their question answered or are having difficulty. Want to know? Ask Ann.
From the moment we're born, we're learning, growing into students, and graduating with skills and abilities to enter the workforce. As we age, knowledge can keep brains active and interested in new topics and activities. The University of Michigan has an organization to meet new people and learn about the world and share common interests. Joining me is Angela Bingham, Director for Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, or Olli. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Thank you for the invitation.
Well, let's learn a little bit. I've actually just recently learned about your organization, so I don't know a ton about it. Why don't you tell us what it's all about?
Okay. The Osher Lifelong Learning Institute is an organization for any individual 50 and older who wants to be a lifelong learner. It's a volunteer-centered membership organization, so our volunteers actually create the programming that we offer throughout the year. And so it's just a great program if you have a passion to teach a subject, to engage other members in the community. So it's really an opportunity to continue that lifelong learning aspect of your life.
Oh, so it's a situation where you maybe had skills in your career and then you're bringing them to other people too.
Correct. Or even it might have been just a passion, like maybe you loved art or theater and you want to do that now in your retirement or even pre-retirement, because the organization, as I said, is for people 50 and older. So
yeah, it's interesting. I actually, my father retired older. I mean, he just retired last year at like 72. He did not want to retire. And I think part of the scary thing about retiring for a lot of people is this idea that I'd have nothing to live for anymore. And I think an organization like this is such a great way to transition to that next step of your life, because I feel like personally, I mean, for someone that's got to work a few more years, a lot, I think retirement's probably pretty amazing once you actually find that spot and what you want to do. And it's really about your passions in life.
It is. And I think, Olli at the University of Michigan really fulfills that need for a lot of people. We have about 125 volunteers who put on over 160 programs twice a year for our organization. So they're really utilizing their passion, their skills, their expertise to make sure other seniors have an opportunity to get together, to engage, and to learn.
How long has Olli been around, and why was it started originally?
So we have been around a little over 37 years now. Ollies have been around throughout the United States for years, some as old as 50 years old. And it was started by Bernard Osher, who's still alive today. He lives in California. And when he retired, he saw that there was a lacking need for the ability for anybody who's older to continue that lifelong learning. And so he created the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute years and years ago to make sure that throughout the United States, anybody who had that passion can take advantage of the programming.
That's so great. I mean, I will say the person that told me about you is a member, and they said until they found Olli, they didn't really feel like they had this place where they could, it almost like gave her a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
And that's the cool part about it, that she was so passionate about it that it felt like it was something that really filled a void in her life.
It does. It really, and the fact that, you get this opportunity, that's another thing. When you retire, you're losing that audience of friends that you had at work and those colleagues you talked to. And so when you become a member of Olli, you have this whole new community of friends that you meet with, other people who have similar interest. And then they also have that interest of being lifelong learning. So, if it's learning a topic that I always wanted to do, maybe a major you wanted to major in college, but you didn't. And now you can do some classes like that, or if you have a passion for something. So it gives a community, social interaction, as well as education.
Well, you mentioned that Ollies have been around for the United States for 50 plus years. How did the University of Michigan, how does it work with the University of Michigan? And are all Ollies related to universities across the country?
Either universities or colleges. And so the Bernard Osher Foundation wanted it to be connected to a university. And so every university gets an endowment for an Olli if they choose to do so. And so we have an endowment at our university. So that allows us to have space on the U of M campus to have our classes, but they do it at universities because the university side handles the endowment piece. But then also, usually most universities have great access. And so anybody who's 50 and older to get to it, it's easy. There's bus lines, there's easy transportation, there's easy parking. And so he connected it with any college or university, even community colleges throughout the United States. So that way, those individuals who want to take advantage of that programming have resources available, as well as the university to maintain the endowment piece to make sure those programs continue to grow.
So the physical space at the university, or it moves around the university, how does that work?
Right. So we are located in the Turner Senior Resource Center. And so we do have some classes here in our building, but we have also a wide range of classes, so a combination of lectures. And so the lectures, we don't have any space that big here. So we're at Washtenaw Community College in the Morris Lawrence building for our lectures. Some of our other programs that are maybe larger study groups might be in some of those places as well. We also have some churches and community centers in the area where we offer classes, as well as University of Michigan. So we offer a program called Evenings with Olli at the Kellogg Ice Center. And so that's another U of M building facility that we have our classes at.
Can you talk about how people can get involved, be volunteers, be members, cost involved?
Sure. So our website, very easy. It's olli-umich.org. They can go to our website to get the information on it. Membership varies. We have several different membership options now. We have a basic membership for $35. It's for the entire year. It begins August 1st through July 30th. We also have an enhanced membership that's $100 for the year. So that's one of our members who, like, if they take 15 or more classes throughout the year, you get $5 off every class. So that's benefit for you at that membership level. And then we have an all-inclusive membership for $300 for the year. So we have some of our members who are really engaged. They take our lecture series that lasts for an entire year, as well as other classes. And so for them, that's a great benefit. And then we also have scholarships that are available. So if you can't afford that cost of any of those memberships, you can self-select scholarship and still take advantage of our programming.
Yeah, you know, one of the things the person I was talking about before mentioned was that this was one of the most reasonably priced things for seniors to do and be involved in. And those prices sound very reasonable to me. Where, like, there's other situations where, like, there's obviously things to do for seniors around town, but there can be a hefty price involved in some things. Right. And you are, a lot of times, you know, you only have so much money in the month to give to things that you want to do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our program ranges in prices too. So we have some programs that are free. Some of our day classes might be $12 or $15. But we also offer pricing for non-members. So somebody who maybe wants to try out Olli before they become a member, the first time you attend an Olli class for a lecture or for one of our Evenings with Olli programs, you can go for free. So if you've never ever attended, you can attend the first time for free. And then anytime after you've attended once, it's $20. So a non-member would pay $20 versus our members would pay $12 for that same class.
Like going to see a movie.
Thank you. Yeah.
Why don't we talk about some of the offerings? You mentioned some stuff. You have your distinguished lecture series, and that is that a monthly? How does that work?
Yes, that's a monthly. So it's the second Tuesday of every month. We have a Thursday lecture series that happens every Thursday. Both of those are held at Washtenaw Community College in the Morris Lawrence building. We have about 60 study groups that are offered throughout the year. They're in a combination of spaces here at Turner, at some local churches, also at Washtenaw Community College. We have shared interest groups. So that's kind of like maybe somebody has started a study group and they love this one particular subject. That group wants to keep talking about it. They have a shared interest group. We have Olli Out of Town, which is a travel program. And so we have virtual trips as well as in-person trips. And so we actually have some members right now internationally in Ireland at a trip, and we have a trip planned next year to go to Lakeland, Florida to see the Tigers. We have Evenings with Olli, which is a program kind of geared for those people who are still working to give an opportunity to get a little taste of what Olli is. And so those are offered at Kellogg Ice Center in the evening. We have a 30-minute networking and then a program. And then we also have Olli Reads. And so for those people who are passionate readers and want to read a book and then actually have the author there, we have Olli Reads. So, I mean, just a wide range of programming, as well as some other committees that really work to make sure our programming are exciting. So we have a social interactions committee, we have a development committee. So,
Well, you've mentioned those out of town trips. I will say, as someone that feels very uncomfortable traveling alone, I think that's so cool that you could continue traveling, but be in a group and feel that safety net of being with people that you know and still being able to see the world. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we do local, regional trips throughout the state of Michigan, throughout the United States, and then we just started the international trips back again this past year.
So, how do you decide? Is there a committee that's like, okay, next year we're going to go see the Tigers in Florida?
Yeah, so we have a leadership council, and so that is all advisory members. It's a chair of each from one of our committees, and we have a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a chair of finance who lead that, and our past president. And so we really plan. Each one of those committee plans out what they want to do for the year. So we are already in the process of creating our winter spring catalog, and so they meet on a monthly basis and create this amazing programming.
And the Distinguished Lecture Series, what kind of topics are we talking about? What's a typical month like, or what's next month like?
Oh my goodness, they have so much going on. I'd say there's not really a typical month happening with that program. These are distinguished lecturers who are from all over the world. So since the pandemic, that was kind of one good thing. Instead of just working locally to get presenters, we have people from all over the world. So to give you an example, last year we had Robert Putnam, who's a Harvard graduate who came and did a presentation, one of our programs. So these are internationally known, nationally known speakers who come to Olli. All of the presenters offer their services at no cost. So everything is volunteer for our organization. So that's another key thing as well. Volunteers create the programming, and we don't pay anybody for the programming that's offered as well.
Are a lot of the lectures via Zoom then?
Well, all of our lectures are a hybrid format. And so you could actually be in person at Washtenaw Community College, but it's live streamed as well. And then they even have a Q&A question section that can allow that. And then we also offer recordings after the fact. And so all of our lectures are recorded. And so we have a huge depository of over 250 lectures from programming that started in 2017 to present, from past lectures as well and past programming.
And then you do the Thursday morning ones. Are those different than the monthly ones?
They are. So the Thursday lectures can kind of range. The Thursday ones, they usually kind of pick different topics. And so we just had a Mexico series. And so we had every kind of program was on different aspects in Mexico. The next series we have Barbara McQuaid speaking on Thursday at Washtenaw Community College. So every series is different on a different topic.
And mornings, what time is it usually at?
So the lectures are at 10 o'clock. The doors open at 9:30, and they have coffee. They have refreshments for everybody. The program is an hour, and then they have a half an hour for Q&A. So 10 to 11:30 on Thursdays, and then that second Tuesday at the same time.
Nice. And when you talk about the study groups, is this just volunteers being like, I want to talk about this. I want to get in a group and we talk about this. And it's really about current events or whatever topics that the group might be interested in.
Definitely. I mean, so we've had we had a person who studies butterflies. And so she did a class on the monarch butterfly, and we had a butterfly release, earlier this year. We have study groups on cooking. So we have a woman who does Chinese cooking, and she does it here in the building. And so it's like healthy cooking recipes, and she actually cooks the recipes and then gives everybody a recipe to take home with them. We have them about, if you're an artist, you love to write or poetry. So whatever your passion is, you can be a study group instructor.
And then the reads is basically just like a book club where they pick a book that they like and everyone reads it.
Yeah, that is similar to a book club. So everybody gets the book, and then at the completion of the class, they have the author come in and then answer questions about the book. So that's that great experience of after reading the book with the group, then to have that author at the event.
Well, I think that's really cool because personally with this job, I actually have had to read books and then interviewed authors. And I feel like you really get this deeper sense of a book when you get to speak with an author, like something that you don't understand how cool it is to actually talk to someone. And especially when you really like the book and you really could be like, man, this part, I want to know more about this. And it's just like a really nice opportunity that I think you don't understand unless you actually experience it for yourself.
That is true. That is so true. So, I mean, we're really fortunate that we have all this amazing programming that has this one-on-one access for our members.
And when you go out on the town, what are some of the places that Olli likes to visit when they're out and about?
Oh, let's see. They did a trip last year to Lansing to see Moulin Rouge. they've gone downtown to Eastern Market. They're doing some trips to the Holland Tulip Festival next year. So we do, like I said, some local regional trips as well as statewide. And then, like I said, a few of those out of state as well.
And you provide transportation for these too?
Yes. And so they meet up at Meyer. We have a bus that picks up everybody and takes them to the different locations. And for the trips that are international, we have usually a meetup here, takes them to the airport and takes them to the event as well.
I think that's a key component because when I talk to my 60-plus-year-old mother, she hates going places where she's never driven before. And this is like an anxiety thing that I think happens to people as they get older, and your vision isn't as good. So
That's
like
true.
as you get older, and I can even attest to this, after I turned 40, when I drive at night, my vision's a little, the lights
Yeah.
just aren't as crisp as they used to be. And I can
Right.
understand where she's coming from, where she's like, I don't really want to drive at night. So like you can do these things and you don't have to worry about your safety. You're getting in a van, someone's taking you there. You don't have to worry about that part.
Yeah. So we make it as convenient as possible for our members, like I said, because we understand their needs. And then we make sure, like when we do our buses, that they're ADA compliant as well. Because we have some members who might be with a walker or with a cane. And so we want to make sure that the trips are safe and accessible for everybody.
Well, you mentioned volunteers. Is this just ongoing? If you are a member or non-member, can you volunteer, or do you have to be a member?
I do have to be a member to volunteer. However, the volunteers, we have over 850 members right now. Our goal at the end of the year, which our fiscal year ends at June 30th, would be 1,200 members. And so we probably have about 125 members who create the programming. So we're always trying to increase the amount of volunteers with our programming, from doing one-time events, maybe supporting us at our winter open house, or being part of a committee and actually planning the programming.
We're almost out of time. Before we go, why don't you tell people why they should take advantage of this? It's right in our backyard, essentially. Oh, and because I know this was on the website, there's also offerings at Turner Senior Center where you're physically located as well.
That is true. Yes. So I say the reason to join Olli is, like you said, is to have that sense of community, that engagement, that continuation of life. It's a great organization that allows you to volunteer, to use your passion and your expertise to kind of continue that third chapter of your life. So even though work is over, what our model is that learning never retires. And so we want to really make sure that anybody 50 and older has that opportunity to gain that community, gain that purpose and passion in retirement or pre-retirement. And for us, it's really important just to have that combination of the ability to take classes, but then the ability to give back by volunteering your time and your expertise within the community, and make sure that other individuals have that opportunity to really have an amazing kind of third chapter of life.
Yeah, it's almost like you're giving people freedom in a way. I feel like it's really cool. It's something I'll look into when I turn 50.
Perfect.
Thank you, Angela, for being on the show.
Thank you very much. And I hope everybody takes an opportunity to join Olli.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.